Okay, so for this video, it's not going to be a Minecraft video actually. I'm actually going to run through a tutorial on how to make like a simple card game. So, for this card game that I made today, I've made Blackjack. If you don't know the game, so basically, you start off with two cards, and then you get to see the dealer's cards, but only one of them, one out of the two. And then your goal is trying to get as close to 21 as possible. But if you go over 21, well then you lose. Either 11 or 1. And Jack, Queens, and Kings, they represent 10. So, what I did here is I'm using Python right now. And the first thing what you want to do is get a Python compiler. So basically I'm just using this online version. And as you can tell, if we run it, you'll have the option of choosing a difficulty. Let's just choose hard. Yeah. Starter card is 8 and 3. The dealer's card is 2, and we don't know the other one. So if we wanted another card, we could do hit. Since we only have 11, let's do hit. Oh, as you can tell, sometimes the compiler doesn't work. So let's do it again. And as you can tell, we got a 1. I did it so that in the code, I'll explain later. If I got a random integer of 11, I have like less than a certain number, then it'll if I have more than a certain number, then it'll automatically turn into 1, so it doesn't automatically bust. A bust is a term in Blackjack, is where you go over 21, and then you like bust and you lose, essentially. So I'll give you an example. So like here, hit, and you bust because you went over 21. And I added a while loop, so that when the whole game ends, it'll say, if you wish to play again, input start over, so start over. But let's say you did start over, it'll then say you have typed end or start over incorrectly. So let's do start over. And sometimes compiler glitches. So let's do it again. Give it a good example. Start over, and I'll do enter difficulty, etc., etc. So let's say we. Oh yeah, and I also did the same for the hit and stand. So like stand means like you don't want any more cards, and hit means you want another card. And now we have 21. Well, that's a bug I have to fix, I guess. So let's do end. So I'll give you an example. Let's say we pressed end instead. So like, oh, I busted. Yikes. So I press end, and I'll give you a nice message. Bye. Have a great day. So before we start this tutorial, you're gonna have to know like basic knowledges of the if, elif, the else. You need to know how to use while loops. You need to know how to assign variables. More importantly, you need to know how to use the random library. So basically, if we do import random, it's a really nice library where we can like you do rand int. Like here, let's just show you. So duplicate it. And like, let's say we did, we did import random, so we did print rand int between, let's say, 1 and 114 for some reason. I'll automatically do a random number between 1 and 114, so like every time 31, 58, 8. And so that's what I did here. I used the rand int. So if you import random here, we can assign variables. Like for this one, I did x1 equals r dot randint between 1 and 11 because you can only have cards between 1 and 11. So x1 and x2 is our cards, as you can tell, and y1 and y2 is the dealer's cards. So what I did was, as you can tell, if x1 and x2 is equal to 11, then x1 equals to 1, so that it doesn't automatically bust. Let's say got really lucky and got 2 aces, or 2 11s, you'd automatically bust. But like, if you did this, then you wouldn't automatically bust. And so I'll go over this while loop later. But oh yeah, before I go any further, I should mention you do not need to know any. You don't need to know how. You don't need to. I can English. Okay. Anyways, you don't need to have any functions. You can if you want, but like you really don't need it. So I for the difficulty part, I did let's say diff equals to 0 to start off the while loop for difficulty. So I used a while loop because let's say you misspelled hard or something as I don't know, like that. You just missed 2 letters. Then it'll be like, oh, you did not type easy, medium, or hard. Check spelling or caps. And then it'll do diff plus equals 0, meaning it'll break the loop. I mean, it won't break the loop. It'll end the loop. And since it's still not equal to 1, then I'll go over it again until you actually spelled easy, medium, or hard right. So yeah, let's see. So if we typed easy, because for some reason, if I added like this, it'd become a bit more buggy. So, and apparently like variables are less buggy, I guess. I'm still learning Python too, so you know, yeah. And so the difficulty, if you typed easy, it'll do diff equals to 18. And the reason I did this is I'll explain later, but like it's because down in the code, let's try to find it. So I did while a, which is actually equal to d, which is the dealer's cards together, the starter cards. And then if a is less than the difficulty, then it'll do t. It makes a new variable to get a random integer between 1 and 11 again. And then you can do d equals to d plus t. So the dealer's cards would then be added to the t, giving him another card. And while the cards are still less than, let's say, 18, he'll do it again. So he's playing more risky, making him have a more chance of busting, which is why it's an easy difficulty. And medium will get a bit lower, so he's playing a bit safer, less chances for him to bust. And hard is 14. Yeah, I guess it could also be 15, but I just prefer 14. And then he plays really safe, and like he won't bust as often, and you're gonna have to play a bit more smarter. And so, and if A is actually more or equal to the difference, then I'll break the loop and continue on with the code. So then I did I equals to P. P is the amount that the variable P is the total amount that we have. So let's say right now we had 4 over here. So while I, which is P right now, is less than 21, you could do input. I use the input I forgot if it's syntax. I forget a lot of stuff. But anyways, yes, I use the input syntax, and I typed in a message. If you want another card, input hit. Else, if you want to stand, input stand. as I explained before, hit means you want another card, and stand means you don't want another card and you want the game to end. So I assigned that variable to x. So, and then I did if x equals to hit, and I assigned hit as hit, so it'll just be like, when I type hit, it'll just give me another card. But since the game's ended, of course I wouldn't. So, yeah, if it equals to hit, then I made a new variable called total, which will be our new, or not our new total, but our new card. So I don't know why I called it total I honestly don't know. It'll give us like another random integer between 1 and 11, just like over here. And then I added that if our total is less than 11, and total is 11, which is the random integer, then total would equal to 1. So that means it wouldn't bust and it would only be 1. And then I assigned the new total to p, which is p equals to p plus total, so we actually include the random integer to our total sum. I also did print total, so it'll show that this is the card that you got, and then it'll say, right now you have this amount, because, yeah, and then it'll do I equals to p to update the while loop, and then we break out of the loop using I plus equals to 0, I can English. And then over here we have if p, this is for like the endings, the different endings. So let's say if our amount is more than 21 and the dealer's amount is more than 21, then it'll print you bust. And if it's less than 21, the dealer's cards, then it'll print you bust. And then I added another loop for the start over. This will do like, if you wish to play again, blah blah blah. And then I use the input syntax to say, if you wish to play again, input start over, else put an end. And then I use the if else syntax to create, so if start over equals to the string start over. I guess I could do like or start over, so people, like, if they have like autocorrect, they'll still do it, but like for now I'll keep it like this. Then start over equals to 0, and oh yeah, this is important. So this is the while loop I was talking about. So we have while start over is not equal to 1. It'll continue this whole loop, so that if you want to play again, it'll just loop this infinitely. So yeah, you will have to create a variable called, it doesn't have to be called start over, but like, name it anything you want. It doesn't even have to be 0, I just put it because it's simple. And, yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot to add earlier. I also did the elif syntax over here. So let's say you didn't write stand or hit, then I'll be like, you have not typed hit or stand, please check your spelling. And then, yeah, I'll just loop through that again. And then, as I was saying, and then if you type end, I'll do, bye, have a great day, and then I'll do start over equals to 1. So once it equals to 1, I'll break out of the loop, and you just stop playing. And if it doesn't equal to end or start over, then it'll just say you have not typed it incorrectly, and it'll loop it again. And then did I accidentally repeat something? No, I didn't. Okay. But anyways, and then if we continue down, we will do a different ending. So if you have an equal amount and the dealer's cards is less then 21 or equal to 21, then it'll print out tie. You both got a certain amount of cards. And then I'll go through a loop, the same loop as I explained earlier, if you want to start over or not. And then, as you can tell, this is going to be repeated, but I'll go through it anyways. So, and if the dealer's cards is less than yours, and your cards is still less than or equal to 21, then it'll be like, you have won. Dealer only had this many amount of cards. Just to know that, like, yeah. And then I'll go through the start over loop. And then, if your amount of cards is less than the dealer's cards, but the dealer's cards is still less than 21, and it'll be like, you have lost, try again next time. Dealer had this amount of cards, and I'll go through the loop. And then for the final loop, I'll go through if you both had more than 21 cards, then I'll say tie, you both busted. I'm not sure if in real Blackjack this actually happens, but like, you know, I don't play blackjack much either. And then over here, we'll have the start over equals to 0 if you it's just to loop everything over. But here's the important thing that I struggled with. So basically, if you didn't know yet, if you don't have a white space between here, a while loop would only loop through until here, until another white space. But if you add a white space, they'll loop through until here. I was struggling, like, because I usually, I started off with C++ as my first computer language. So I was Googling, is it possible to put, like, brackets in Python too? But, like, I eventually found out you just need a white space. So, that's basically how to program, like, a game like Blackjack. Of course, I would not explain the best, as I just did this on the go, and, like, like, I need to upload content, otherwise, there's no point to this channel, and, yeah, it's all good. And besides, even if you didn't understand most of it, just say in the comments, and I'll try to help you in the comments. And if within doubt, you could just copy and paste this code, I guess. Because I don't really care if you use it or not. Like, I just did this for fun, honestly. Of course, it'll take a while. So, I'll probably try to copy and paste this in the comments if I can. And, yeah. Honestly, it took a bit longer than I expected to write this code. Because, I did, like, I know it's only 150 lines of code-ish, but, like, as I said earlier, I'm also still learning Python, and, like, I had to, like, review what to do and stuff, which is why I didn't know that you needed a white space to, like, go through a big block of code with other white spaces. But in the end, it worked out. Of course, it's not perfect, there might still be some bugs, but, like, yeah. Well, anyways, thank you for watching. I'll try to edit out all the, yeah. Anyways, yeah. Thank you for